I'm here with Jens, live from Spain. Jens, how's it going today?
It's a good day so far.
Excellent. So we got connected via Boardy. Can you just tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So I come from kind of an event background. So I've been running a lot of innovation projects within the event space. So I've been running a lot of accelerator programs and incubators. I've been working for different VCs and scouting for them, part of a few different syndicates, also active angel investor. So I love kind of the early stage ecosystem and bringing people together. And I think it's more crucial than ever to be close to the action, so to say, when it comes to top talent and the latest technologies. And that's really what I'm focused on.
Very cool. So the main topic today is AI. Can you talk to me a little bit about just your view of the AI space in general and how you've kind of got acquainted to it over the past few years?
Sure. I think, like most people, it really dawned on me when I first started using ChatGPT early. That's when things really clicked. And I'm a non-technical person. I mean, I used to program when I was 12, but then I kind of let it go. So I think, non-technical people can actually do some pretty amazing stuff now. The revolution we see in coding, for example, is gradually, quickly happening in all spaces as well, right? So it's not AI is not just for coders, but it's going to be affecting everyone. And the difference between someone that really uses these tools to the fullest and someone who doesn't is getting wider and wider.
Yeah, absolutely. Which tools are you using, or kind of what's your current AI tech stack outside of ChatGPT?
Playing around a bit with Claude and Lovable, prototyping quite a bit. And then I'm probably sending 5 tools daily to our developers and our product manager and the growth team and everyone. I think I'm just constantly looking for new tools, constantly demoing and trying new stuff, and we try to evaluate as many tools as we can internally. So I think it's just I think the difficulty is just navigating the different tools because there are so many, and just building a tech stack that is always updating without being confusing, right? Because it obviously takes a little bit of time and money and effort to kind of relearn and unlearn and do something differently. So we're really trying to build this kind of machine around technology where we see all the moving parts as interchangeable, where we can buy certain parts of the machine and then we build certain parts of the machine and we try to kind of evolve it on kind of a quarterly basis at least.
Yeah, that makes sense. Talk to me a little bit about Lovable. I think I used it once just to try it out, but I haven't talked to somebody who's used it a bit more in depth. What's working for you with Lovable and what isn't?
You should really try it. I haven't used all the competitors, so I mostly used Lovable, I would say, but in the beginning it was great at doing kind of basic science, but already now it's at this stage where you can do some seriously advanced stuff, and just the pace that they're shipping product and shipping features, it's insane. So I'm very excited where it would be like a year or something. Frightened to some extent, but also excited. And I would say it's already at that stage where you can, like a non-technical person can build something that actually works. It's not just a beautiful design, but it actually has a semi-complex, fully working backend and structure to it as well.
That's cool.
In the next year or year and a half, most likely you will be able to create something quite complex and reliable and stable and secure using Lovable. And arguments against vibe coding is going to disappear over time, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think security is one of the top things people like to mention with vibe coding. So over time, I could definitely see it that being the biggest point of improvement. What kind of excites you about the AI space or AI tools in general?
I'm just curious. I love new shiny objects. I love kind of the intersection between humans and machines and what we can do together. And like the notion that anyone from anywhere can do anything, I think that's pretty cool. And technology definitely now enables that in a much more tangible way than ever. At the same time, there's obviously a lot of downsides to it as well, but that's not the question here, right? So I think my answer to that specific question is it's just exciting. And I think it triggers a lot of the kind of kid within us all, that it's highly creative and it's highly engaging, and you can do kind of tangible stuff in a short amount of time. And I think the thing people have the least of at the moment is time and patience, right? So I think it fits pretty well.
Yeah, that's a perfect answer. Thank you for that. So let's shift gears just a little bit and talk. If you're investing or you're looking at a company to maybe invest as an angel, how has your investment approach changed with the introduction of AI tools? And are you using AI tools in that process at all?
I think it's definitely on top of everyone's mind for the last, let's say, 18, 24 months. Some VCs have built quite advanced, well-functioning internal systems that give them immense value. Others, like on the other side of the spectrum, there are definitely others that are late to the game, right? And they're missing out on opportunities. And I think over time, I mean, VC is obviously a long-term play, but I do think that the ones that are kind of late to the game, not using the new technologies, will have a difficulty to perform, to find the outliers, to get good investments return to their LPs, for example, because they will need to rely much more on going to events and being out there and that kind of stuff. And it's not scalable to the same extent. I think the killer feature, like the best VCs are the ones both doubling down a lot on events, on community, on bringing people together, but also doubling down on technology when it comes to signaling and working smart with their time and spending time in the right places. But it's difficult, and there's a lot of companies trying to sell different solutions to VCs as well. But the hard reality is most VCs, even if you have a 50 million euro fund or something, it's not like you have endless amount of money to spend on tooling, right? So a lot of them are really not using the latest, greatest technology because they don't have budgets for it, or they're spending money somewhere else. But it's less advanced than you think in general.
Yeah, interesting.
And it's kind of contradictory to some extent because they should be the ones kind of leading when it comes to tech, but a lot of them are not.
Have you been able to identify any differences between what's going on in Europe versus what's going on in the US and the AI landscape there? Do you think adoption is similar, or do you think there's a different adoption curve?
There's definitely differences, right? I think I can't say kind of historically how it was 10, 20 years ago in kind of previous hype cycles, but I do believe in general that the US is better at kind of hyping the new technologies, creating this kind of FOMO. There's a bigger risk appetite, both from investors to do big bets, but also for people to think a little bit more crazy, and for companies to also buy from startups, right? And there's more a focus on kind of deregulating and trying new things in general. I don't know why. I think it's a cultural difference to some extent. But the good thing for Europe is that Europe has started to wake up, I feel, a lot in the last year or 2 years. So there's a lot of positive movements, both on the kind of EU legislation when it comes to kind of reducing admin and making it easier for startups to expand across Europe. But also there's a lot of positive movements when it comes to founders actually staying in Europe and building from Europe. And there's a lot of different initiatives going on, focusing on the great European talent that we have and actually starting to recruit talent more from the US and Canada and other places as well. So I think Europe is getting better, but I don't know if it's enough to actually catch up to the US, because the US is moving really, really fast, and it's still at least pockets of the US is far ahead.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're building? I know you're kind of in stealth mode. What can you tell me about what you're working on right now?
Sure. At high level, what I really believe in are some kind of fundamental shifts which affects PCs, like we discussed. It affects a lot of different sectors, right? So as the new technologies continue to move fast, potentially even faster moving forward, there's a need for people to be close to the top talent, for top talent to cluster and get to know each other, meet each other. And there's an interest, obviously, from tech companies to get to know these. There's an interest from investors to get to know these individuals early. And it's so much about understanding the top talent and understanding who can actually take these new technologies and do something quite quickly, right? Because it's all about moving fast. So we basically built a product for this. And the background is that I organized around 25 different accelerator programs for Techstars and SoftBank and other larger banks and corporates and VCs. And I also ran around 150 hackathons with large players like Meta and Google. And we're basically kind of productizing that so that if an entity wants to run an event where top talent gathers and they build using the new technologies, and there's a focus on the outcome, but also the process, so that you can easily see who's talented and who is not talented. That kind of system is what we're building. So long answer to your question, but in short, it's like a copilot for event organizers that want to organize a hackathon, accelerator, incubator, any type of kind of innovation project where the focus is a lot on outcome and top talent.
That's exciting. Cool. All right. Anything that I didn't get to or I didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about?
No, we covered quite a lot. So I'm quite happy about the conversation.
Excellent. All right, Jens, I appreciate your time.
Likewise. Thank you so much for your time.